Folks, Mel here down in Costa Rica, and it's another wonderful day, and it's exactly 17 minutes after 7. It's always 17 minutes to or 17 minutes after. We want everybody out there to know which team we're on, okay? So the bottom line is Marty has been with me for, man, since like we had like 85 members on Telegram. Now we got combined between the rooms, we got probably close to like 8,000, 9,000. It's crazy. And then we have Tracy, who's been back for 3 days in a row. I think he's getting addicted to being a podcaster, which is good. Hopefully he learns how to sing the song and we could build a whole new XRP army with a very different look on things. So folks, if you're new to the quantum financial system, okay, down below we have a quantum financial systems manual. We have other channels that you could join because in case this one gets blown up, we did a podcast with Kerry Cassidy from Project Camelot. Got 17,150 hits, and then boom, it got taken off because she said something about C19. You know, we're not allowed to talk about that stuff. We are under communist rule until we get rid of these people. So definitely join our Telegram group. Definitely go and take a look at our quantum financial systems manual. We're never going back to the old system, folks. Once they turn the spigot on, once the quantum financial system is here, not the global reset, the quantum financial system, Gesara, Nesara. You go in our manual, there are probably 100 hours worth of videos, conservatively, and there is an entire website, which I believe, Marty, you gave us that website. We made it part of our manual. It's not our website, but it talks about Gesara, Nesara 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. It is amazing stuff. So you could definitely go in there and spend conservatively 2 months educating yourself on the new world that's about to embark. Guys, welcome to the call. Tracy, you've been here 3 days in a row. I know you're getting addicted. I can see it now. You're probably going to have your own YouTube channel here probably next week, which is great. That's exactly what we want. I'm not here to save the world by myself. I want to divide and conquer, okay? So we have a very different song that resonates. We got dots, 17 dots. Our song is not 3 dots or 4 dots. Where the government's screwing us, we know that. The SEC is screwing us, we know that. The videos, we know that. They brag about their crimes on video. All right, how stupid can these people be? But anyway, we're about to win the lawsuit. We're going to win the lawsuit. Why? Because they need to make XRP Ripple a household name. Okay, they don't know that they're going to take a dive, but there's a puppet master that controls the Ginslers of the world. Okay, like believe that or not. And when we win, not if we win, when we win. You will not be able to change the channel on TV. You'll not be able to go anywhere on the internet. We're going to be everywhere. We're about to become the new and improved Bitcoin 5.0. Deal with it. Guys, welcome to the call. Tracy, Marty, welcome to the call. I know you guys have questions, and I'm going to do the best that I can to answer as best as I'm a visionary. Don't ask me any technical questions, but visionary, you can ask all you want. So go ahead and shoot.
All right, Mary, you're first. Ladies first.
There you go.
All right. Okay. In lieu of the rumors about Ripple buying Coinbase, do you think that has some skin to it? And do you think that will happen?
So, yeah, I've heard that. And believe it or not, I've heard that from Cynthia, but we don't have any links yet that point us to that direction. That it could be just purely speculation. I'll tell you what, that would be one hell of a way to re-enlist yourself. You know, and say, hey, I just bought, Coinbase. I'm going to re-enlist XRP, right? Wouldn't that be wonderful, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, I've heard that same rumor. I'm sure, Tracy, you probably heard that too, correct?
I have heard that. And also heard that they sent 40, I don't know if it was million or billion XRP back to Coinbase, maybe to relist it. I don't know if you've heard that rumor or not, but that's
not sure.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a lot of reasons why they're not allowed to leave the United States of America.
All right. So I got a question.
Sure.
Yesterday was the infamous 2/2/2022. Mel, you're more into the research world than I am. Did you hear of any big events that happened yesterday that were supposedly supposed to happen?
Well, they said that, yesterday was the day that they're going to turn on, the quantum financial system. And, the way I can answer that, and I think it makes sense to most people, is that the quantum financial system is not one button. It's many buttons. You know what I mean? They're turning it on gradually. Obviously, in the midst of what? Trying to fight the cabal, number one, the market manipulation, number two. The bankers know that they're out of business. I've said this millions of times. If this market was where it needs to be right now, we would have an XRP that's $29,000 or $39,000 or $59,000. But because the banks and the politicians and everybody's being chased out of town. I mean, today there was a interview. You and I were talking about this earlier, Tracy, with Juan Savin and Nino Rodriguez, and it was a Q&A. He was facing the window with his hat on. Now I know what he looks like, but that could be a costume for all we know. Okay, some people think that he's maybe JFK Jr. I have no way of telling that, but one question came in, and the question was, do you think Gesara Nesara is going to happen? And he said, yes. And I said, whoa, coming from a guy like that. Look, the guy picks up the phone and talks to POTUS every day. And a guy like that tells you Gesara is coming, and you got all these trolls down. I'm sure there'll be a few on this video down below saying, oh, never going to happen. Trump will never come back. Gesara Nesara, no way. You're crazy. We'll see. Somebody's going to be right. Someone's going to be wrong. And I bet you anything you want, we're going to be right. So, yeah. So the switch is being turned on, but it's being turned gradually. Is there a point where it's going to go fast? Yes. But it's not because of your convenience or my convenience. It's because of their convenience. When they're ready, you'll know, because this son of a bitch is going to go super fast. I think the lawsuit's going to be won, and you're going to see $20, $30 XRP conservatively. That will put us in the number one spot. $25 will get us in the number one spot, guaranteed. Once we back the gold, not gold backing us, but gold. I keep telling people, gold is not a technology. Gold by itself, you can put it in televisions, and you can make television works, and it makes your cell phones work, and it makes things work that are electronic in nature. But gold itself is not a technology. So they have to tokenize the gold. They're going to tokenize real estate. They're going to tokenize rubies, diamonds, emeralds. Everything on earth will be tracked and tokenized. And they'll be tracked by VeChain. If you don't have VeChain, buy some because it's going to go crazy. So that's how I would answer that. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes, sir. All right,
fire away.
You go, Trey.
Okay, I got another one. Speaking of VeChain, so I know MEL, you're an XRP OG.
I'm an old gangster. Yeah.
So what would you recommend, top three that you would recommend to folks?
Top three cryptos.
Other than XRP.
Yeah, XRP or other than XRP. I would definitely say definitely VeChain. See if I have my cheat sheet, and I don't have it anymore. I used to.
XLM.
I like. Let me see. Let me go down the list here. Hold on. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna go directly to Live Coin Watch. I like Algo.
Yeah.
I like XLM. There's these tokens that are like 0.004 of a penny that are sleepers, as far as I'm concerned, like Hollow, HOLO. Okay. The symbol is HOT, HOT. Okay. That is a serious project. It's got its own blockchain. That is not going to be a coin in 3 years or 4 years or 5 years. And you got to have that kind of stamina to wait that long, because it might take that long. It might take sooner, but you always want to think long term. Okay. If you got the stamina to be able to weather the storm and wait to 3, 4, 5 years. I think we're in the tail end of it, and I've done enough waiting for everybody. I keep saying that, but I'm going to give you more than 4. XDC is another one. Okay, definitely. RSR is being used in Argentina as money. Okay,
Is that what's the token name on that one? Is that reserve?
RSR, reserve rights.
Reserve
RSR.
rights.
Okay, that's 0.013118 right now. That is a token. Casino coin. Casino coin is a carbon copy of XRP. Because when they decided that they were going to have a casino coin for online casino, and I tell the story, and I'm going to tell the story again for the new people. This is always for the new people because 0.00001% of the entire world's population is in cryptos. The rest of them are not here yet. There's 9 billion people, and there's maybe 100 million people, okay, for argument's sake, not even that many in crypto. So the rest of the world is still yet to. So Casino Coin, when they decided that they were going to check out how they were going to roll, they looked at the proof of work, they looked at the proof of stake, and it was a clear winner, go to proof of stake. They brought in a lot of programmers from, I believe, Ripple Labs, ex-programmers, and these guys are brilliant. And obviously, they said it was a video out there that's like with the CTO of Casino Coin, and there are some some executives of the company, et cetera. It's a very elaborate video. It's about 16 minutes, but power packed. And I could tell you that it's an incredible video in the sense that they break it down for you and they tell you why they decided to go the route of proof of stake instead of proof of work. And it's a clear winner for many reasons, but I always say this. I say this because it's important to know, yes, will it work for casinos? The answer is yes. How much can Casino Coin be worth if it's just used for Casino Coin? And I always say, if it's a carbon copy of XRP and it's lightning fast, and we know that because Tracy bought like a bunch of that stuff not too long ago. And
I bought some more today.
The money was in his wallet in a snap of a finger. Okay. So we know it's fast. Why is it fast? It's fast because it works on the interoperable ledger, the fastest blockchain in the world, right? So what's to stop, let's say if Casino Coin, just dealing with online casinos, goes to $5, for argument's sake, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years down the road. What's to stop retail shops from accepting casino? It's money. If it's good enough for the casinos online and it's spendable, the only thing an ice cream shop or a restaurant, a sushi joint needs to do is put a sign on their door saying, we accept Casino Coin. Here's our QR code. Boom. That QR code is connected to what? Their receiving keys, the receiving keys of their wallet. And someone can go into that sushi restaurant and spend $100 and pay them in Casino Coin. And you're going to see that start to happen. Why? Why would you want to be a slave to Visa and MasterCard and pay 1%, 1.8%, 2% of whatever you're taking in, and then the government knows to the penny how much you made from your Visa and your MasterCard, your American Express transactions, which means you have to pay what? Taxes, and you're a slave to not one system, but two systems, okay? When you could do that, and it's under the radar, and you get your money instantaneously, and it's worth real money. Now, we have to get to a point, obviously, where the market starts to stabilize. Some people say, well, Mel, why would anybody want to use, for example, XRP to pay for a pizza? But that may end up being the same story as, Mary, do me a favor. Can you mute yourself out? Because I'm getting a little bit of noise from you. Yeah.
Really?
Mute yourself out. There you go. Perfect. And then I'll unmute when you're ready to go. So, obviously you don't want to use your XRP, but let's fast forward because I want to explain the story in a little bit of a different way. Let's say we're 4 years into the future and XRP is worth $50,000 and the market is stable because there was a few videos recently, you guys, I'm sure have seen them, where they're going to stabilize XRP, where it's not really going to go up by, 20, 30% or 60 or 70% all of that's going to go away. Because if that's the one that they chose, correct? If that's the one that they chose, that's going to, move all the money on earth, they don't need that token to have 50, 60, points of volatility either way. They need to get that sucker as stable as possible. So obviously you're not going to go spend your XRP, but let's fast forward into the future where you could take your XRP and stake it, which is basically nothing more than when you used to go to the bank, they say, hey, put your money with us for 12 months or 18 months, and we're going to give you 6% or 7% on the CD. A CD is called staking when it comes to crypto. So you put your money up, you show that you have your money. In most cases, with the new programs that are coming out, your money never leaves your wallet. In other words, you're just basically showing proof of funds and your money's churning, maybe, listen, if you have $100 million in XRP, which a lot of you will, a lot of the guys that are inside our Telegram group will have that and then some. I was talking to a guy today earlier, I'm not going to mention his name. He says, Mel, I got 500,000 XRP. I said, well, you're going to be very wealthy, right? So let's just take that money, that XRP, you have $100 million worth of XRP, you're getting 0.5% interest every month on that XRP. And you say, I want that money to come in being paid to me in VeChain. Just example, right? So you still have your 100 million, you don't touch your principal, but you have 0.5% coming in from staking that is being paid in VeChain. Let's say your VeChain is worth $5 per VeChain, just for argument's sake. So you're getting a total of $500,000 a month. Okay, $500,000 a month in VeChain that you could spend anywhere you want. You're always going to have the principal.
Yep.
That's what's coming.
It's a good life.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's what's coming.
Speaking of that, and it's not a commercial, but I know you've heard of a coin called IOTA, right? So
yes.
IOTA is actually one of the ISO 2022 coins.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a new deal now. It's a staking opportunity that you get the new wallet called Firefly that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And if you stake your IOTA, you actually can get 2 future coins right now, and you're just rolling those balances, and they're going fast. One of the coins, you get 1 coin every 10 seconds. So I'm almost up to like a billion of it. It's a really cool project. Firefly wallet. You can get it on your computer.
I think I need to put you on a phone with my wife, Amber. She loves stuff like that. So
it is really cool. I haven't seen one this sophisticated yet. I mean, the Zoom wallet is really cool, but this one's pretty nice. We'll chat after this.
Yeah. So, we're definitely in, we're in the thick of the New World Order. We're in the thick of market manipulation, not just cryptos. How about gold? How about silver? If you go to, I think it's called, what's the name of that website where you have all the little boxes? I've
got a note here to talk to you about that. It's the usdebtclock.org.
Bingo.
And I looked at it yesterday, and it blew me away. Our U.S. total debt as of yesterday, $86 trillion. 86 trillion. And if you look at the spot price of silver, it's 24.25 on the spot charts, and gold is around 1900. But if you look at this usdebtclock.org, they have a little thing on there called the dollar to silver ratio and a dollar to gold ratio. And if you look at that, according to yesterday, silver is at $3,032 per ounce. And
that's the real price.
That's right. And gold is at 22,151. 22,100.
22,000. And I've seen it as high as 48,000.
Right.
And I've seen silver as high as 12,000.
But I'm just thinking if XRP and gold, if we were at 22,000, I would be happy.
Here's the thing. We confiscated, they don't know exactly how much, but they said that Hercules plane, that C-130 it's the biggest airplane we have in the fleet, over 730 airplane loads that came in. First of all, when they confiscated the gold, there was a convoy from the Vatican all the way to Switzerland, heavily armed convoy. There was a soldier with unlimited amounts of 50 caliber bullets every 20 feet. Okay. I mean, and there was a convoy that stretched for miles and miles of this stuff. And it went on for days and days. And that went to an airfield, an air base that we have in Switzerland. From there, the Hercules planes, which is the biggest cargo airplane we have, military, started flying into Cheyenne Mountain. And that's where all the gold resides. Now, that's not even all the gold. That's just part of the gold. So you remember, look, I'm from the call center industry. I remember call centers calling people and selling them paper saying you own X amount of gold, you own X amount of silver. Okay. There's a name for that. I think they're called ETFs or something like that. I forget the exact name.
Yes.
And, but the reality is they oversold that market by so much that if everybody today wanted to call in all their gold or call in all of their silver, they sold thin air. They sold gold that didn't exist. It was a scam operation. Yeah.
Paper contracts. Yes.
Exactly. And the reason why the backlash is because we're about to take the gold for the first time and put it on something called the blockchain. Unhackable. You cannot finagle the bagel anymore.
Right.
The party's about to come to an abrupt end.
Yeah.
No more cheating.
That manipulation is going to stop.
No more cheating.
Yep.
No more cheating in politics. Politics is going to be shrunk by 95%. Why? Gesara, Nesara is also going to be part of that quantum financial system. Quantum voting is coming. They don't want that. They don't want that because they want to do, mail in, what? I can't mention that word because we might get flagged. Okay. It's all a scam. Everybody who's voted for anybody, and I voted for a few presidents along the way in my life. I thought I had the freedom of choice. You ain't got the freedom of choice. The people are not elected, they're selected. My good friend who's passed away, George Green, who got called in to be the finance chairman to the next president of the United States, a guy that used to grow peanuts. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy Carter.
Yep.
Okay. He was in a room with a bunch of people, a guy by the last name of Wolfowitz. Does that ring a bell? Big banking guy. Okay. He was sitting next to Ted Kennedy. This guy owns a farm, coffee farm right here. His kids probably own it now. He's dead. This is a big dude. This is a guy who was worth $500 million. Him and his dad was in the slaughter business, was in the construction business, was in the banking business. He was so good at banking, he was breaking world banks. And so they had two choices. They either call him to work for them or they had to kill him. Okay. He was sitting next to Ted Kennedy. His daughter walks into the room. She just turned 14 the day before. And Ted says, "Who is that? I want to go to bed with that." And he says, "No, you don't. That's my daughter." True story.
Wow.
Okay. So when he realized who was running the world, and he walked into another room and there was a lot of powder floating around and freebasing equipment, he realized if this is who's running the world, I want nothing to do with it. And he walked away and he said, "No, I'm turning the offer down. Thank you, but no thank you." Well, the next day they called on all of his loans. This is a guy that him and his father owned a slaughter business, and their biggest customer was the American government.
Wow.
Okay. Millions of that. This guy would build cities. I'm talking like, gated communities with 2,500 homes, big banking family. Okay. Very, very wealthy. And I used to talk to him on the phone on a regular basis. I've talked to him a gazillion times. And the stories he told me were unbelievable. Okay. So, if you think you got the freedom of choice, you don't got no freedom of choice. When he asked, he said, "Well, you want me to be the chairman of the next president of the United States?" He says, "May I ask who's the guy that's going to be running that you want me to be the chairman for?" Jimmy Carter. Only one problem. Jimmy didn't know he was running. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's been fixed since the beginning of time.
It's a puppet.
You're living in a scam.
Yeah.
This is a scam. The whole thing. Your kids going to school, learning bullshit. It's a scam. We're going to burn everything down and start from scratch. It's called Gesara and Nesara. Get used to it.
Yes.
You could sit there and point your finger at me and call me tinfoil hat, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But if you don't live in my world, don't you judge me. You come into our room, you go through our manual and read the stuff. Then after you finish watching the movie for about 2,000 hours, let's sit down and have a conversation, an intelligent conversation, that is. Okay. And this guy he got into ufology. George got into ufology, not to get off track. And George went to Switzerland. He talked to Billy Meyer, one of the most fascinating stories in the history of ufology. It's all over the internet. And he met with Quetzal, who was the commander of the ship. Where did that ship come from? Not from Antarctica. It came in from the Pleiades star system. And he sat across the guy from across the kitchen table, and they spent weeks together. These are the guys who were picking up Billy Meyer and bringing him through space and educating him, etc.
Wow.
Okay, so the people that think they have a choice, you ain't got no choice. This is a big club, and you ain't in it. Just like George Carlin used to say.
All right, Mary, it's your turn.
Sorry, my internet is unstable. Maybe because, like I said, it's very cold here. It's 30 degrees right now. Where the side is, am I clear, or is it broken up?
It's a little clearer. Yeah, you shut everything down. You just got your Zoom running.
Okay, I'll ask. Yeah, I shut everything. Okay, question. Gary Gensler, from the beginning, I was very suspicious of him. Some symbology in his living room. I think he's more and more, to me, is just another deep stater. But with that said, I believe that ultimately the government should take crypto away from the SEC and form a crypto securities exchange. What's your thoughts on that, Mel? Because it's the same thing as a stock that is manipulated, and we know manipulating crypto, and Gensler's got some along with his chums. What do you think about that in the future crypto to be? I'm
going to answer that in a couple of ways. Gensler is being handled. Gensler is like, you ever see the movie Goodfellas? When the movie starts, you got these guys parking the cars for the gangsters. They go get the coffee for the gangsters, and they serve the coffee at the card games for the gangsters. And Joe Pesci shoots the guy in the foot. Remember that? That's Gary Gensler. He's a nobody. He's a wannabe. He's a spoke in the wheel. Yes, he's worth $100 million because they can print money at will and give it to anybody who follows orders. Bottom line. But there's somebody above him, basically maybe in touch with the judges. They don't even know who his name is. Say, slow down the lawsuit. We got to wait for POTUS to get back. Gesara, Nesara, all of that. You're in a movie. This is a movie. People don't understand. They want to watch CNN, and they never want to come inside my movie theater and your movie theater, Marty. And then they want to have an argument with us about something they know absolutely nothing about. And that's what blows me away. Until you live in my movie theater, until you walk a mile in my shoes, don't you tell me I don't know what's going on and I'm a cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But these are all controlled opposition. I think the SEC, just like the Federal Reserve and the IRS, is going to go away. I think the merger hence the reason why they don't want the escrow, because they already know. They already know how much it's worth. That's why if you see the document, not to jump discussions here, but if you see the document of the people that, what's his name, interviewed, James Rule XRP, where they made a written proposal. If you read that document doesn't read like a letter of intent. That document reads like a contract. So they're basically saying to the Federal Reserve, hey, buy out Marty and Tracy and everybody who owns XRP for $35,000 or $37,500. Why? Because they know it's worth $150,000. Why would they? You understand? People say, "Oh, that's fake. That's never going to happen because you got too much supply." They don't understand that XRP is going to tokenize the gold, tokenize the real estate market, the diamond market. They don't realize there's a video that I made, and I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it up here to my right in the top right-hand corner. I'm going to put the video here. Make sure you click on their video. It's about 25, 26 minutes. It's a video of a video of a video. Okay. This is Mickle Markets, who used to draw lines, and he was a technical analysis guy and got major egg on his face, just like the rest of them, including the blockchain backer. See, I'm not here to make friends. I'm not here to make enemies, but I'm going to call you out and I'm going to speak my mind, and I don't give a shit. I'm not here for a popularity contest, if you haven't figured that out. I'm here to tell you what I feel is real. And so he switched gears. He was smart enough to switch gears and start talking about the news and everything. So one day he comes up with like 5 different circles, and one was the gold market, and one was the diamonds market, one was the milk market. I got the video and I narrated the video. The video's got like thousands of hits. This is when my channel was only a couple of hundred people. This is a few weeks ago. And basically he says, what you don't understand is that XRP needs to be, and he had $100 trillion example. And he had basically divided, this is basic math. This is not, algebra or anything really, outrageous. This is pluses and minuses and division and times by, et cetera. That's all this is. And he figured out plain math, and math is like a pregnant woman, at the end of the day, you're either pregnant or you ain't pregnant. You can't be almost pregnant, right? So when he figured out is that for the $100 trillion that he had, the hypothetical example of the liquidity pools that XRP needs to equal to move that $100 trillion, XRP needs to be $1,000. Then he flips the page and he goes to the derivatives market. He gets that wrong because he's talking about 1.4 trillion when in fact it's 1.8 trillion. I'm sorry, 1.8 quadrillion. Sorry, not 1. It was 1.4 quadrillion, and it was really 1.8 quadrillion. So when you take into account all the money on Earth that moves, all of the money on Earth that moves is $5 quadrillion per year, and it's probably more than that according to Cynthia with the med beds.
Right.
That's probably a conservative number. So when you take into account 5 quadrillion and the gorilla that nobody wants to acknowledge, it's in the room. There's a gorilla there that's a 100,000-pound gorilla that's in a titanium cage that they're about to let out and let it do what it was programmed to do. And nobody wants to acknowledge it. And there's all this market manipulation going on. You got to sit there and scratch your head, say, listen, okay, all the meetings, who goes to the meetings? The same guys over and over. Brad Garlinghouse, Chris Larson, David Schwartz. Antarctica. Who goes down to Antarctica to meet with Christine Lagarde? David Schwartz. Who's David Schwartz? David Schwartz is Satoshi Nakamoto. When you start to put the dots together, you know what this is. So you just got to sit there. Okay, let's wait. You want to knock the price down? We'll just keep buying some more. At the end of the day, we're just going to get richer. So bring it up. Come on in, as Brad Kime says. Come on in. Let's do it. You see what I'm saying? So yes. The reality is there's a video also of the Hulk. okay, where he talks about the 5 quadrillion, and you divide the escrow amount into the 5 quadrillion, he come up with $100,000 XRP. That is not far-fetched. What? You're talking to me that Bitcoin that doesn't do nothing, zero, is allowed to go to $100,000, but the one that can move mountains, financially speaking, is not allowed to? Really?
70 cents.
Right. Yeah, 70 cents. How are we going to let's take the derivatives market, which is just the small potatoes when you take into things into scope.
Yep.
Derivatives market, right? I'm sorry, not the remittance market, which is a $7 trillion a day market. 7 trillion, $5 to $7 trillion a day moves back and forth through a system that was created in 1972. That's when I moved to the United States. That system moves $5 to $7 trillion a day. You're going to move $5 to $7 trillion a day, and you know XRP Ripple is going to swallow that thing whole. You're telling me that we're not allowed to be $100,000? There's going to be a lot of people with melted faces when it's all said and done.
Yep.
Because this market is just about to get started. Don't worry about the price. You look at it right now, it's 70 cents. It's 70 cents, 0.09910, okay? It's a distraction. If they could figure out how to shake you out and bring it down to 20 cents, I'm figuring out what am I selling to put it into XRP. And some people are figuring out, I'm going to take a loss. I'm going to take my money. Listen, if you have money, okay, that you need to pay your rent, don't invest in cryptos, including XRP. But if you got money that you need to invest and you're willing to wait long-term, congratulations, you're rich.
Yep.
Anybody who's invested in Tesla over the last 20 years or Amazon or Google and understood this was a long-term game has gotten fabulously wealthy. You're literally in something that's much bigger than that. Why? Because it's got to do with all the money, baby. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's huge.
All right, I got a question for you.
Sure.
You got to put your creative hat on. All right. So when we get to the Nesara, Gesara, there's going to be a lot of people who do become really wealthy, and they may consider taking on a humanitarian project. Do you have any ideas for folks as far as projects like? Because some people are like, I have no clue what to do, but they want to do something. What do you have any kind of recommendations?
Sure. I say to people, because this thing, it could go slow, meaning slow in XRP, and I see it happening slow in the sense that we may go to $1,000 pretty quick, like within 5-6 months. And then within another couple of months, we may be cranked up to 10,000 because it's for their convenience, not ours. So I always say to people to have a business plan, because if you think having money is not stressful, listen, I've had little money, I've had medium money, and I wouldn't say I was a millionaire, but I live like a millionaire. And believe me, I've spent $220,000 in 1 year, and it's not easy to spend that kind of money in 1 year. It's stressful, okay? And I will tell you, the best thing you could do is to have a business plan on exactly what you want to do first, what you want to do second. Yes, we have a humanitarian project. It's to help out all the stray dogs. I have 2 dogs, Max and Crispy. Crispy, we met him at Crispy's Chicken. That's why we named them Crispy, okay? And Max was visiting us here in the complex. He was a dog that was full of ticks and all kinds of things on it. It was like 250,000 colones, it was like $500 back then to bring him back to health. Okay. So my thing is I want to have a dog sanctuary because dogs can't help themselves. I'm going to need some volunteers. I'll take some donations as far as maybe Purina will donate me, 1,000 pounds of food, whatever. Some veterinarians who would like to volunteer their time, some nurses, whatever. We're going to get these guys neutered. We're going to get them back to health, and we're going to put them on Craigslist and find them a good home. That's my way of giving back. Another thing we're going to do, Amber's family, we want to send some of them to school. So we want to bring in a professional guidance counselor and sit the kids down, say, what makes you tick? What do you want to be? You like animals? You like working with animals? Good. You're going to be a veterinarian. What do you like to do? You're like being in the hospitality business. Good. We're going to open you up an Airbnb. So take those kids and send them to the best schools money can buy. Right? And let them put some skin in the game. Don't just give them the business. Say, here, listen, you're going to work this out. If I see that you put your passion, you're still the owner of the business, not because you need the money, but you don't want to give bread to people that have no teeth.
Right.
You know, they got to put some skin in the game. You got to see that they have passion to want to grow that business. And then at some point you make them your partner, they run the business. And you don't have to worry about them having a job. They're in their own business. Their own man or woman, right?
Right.
So that's another thing we got going. So your business plan may be very different than mine. My very first thing might be selfish, okay? But I want to go hang out at the beach for about 2 months, and I want to do acupuncture. I want to do aromatherapy. I want them to wrap me around with seaweed and some mud and let me, marinate in some mud for about maybe 2 hours every fourth day or whatever. I want to do a massage twice a week. I want to be in a spa where it costs me $5,000 a day because I deserve it, and you should want to do the same thing because like I said, and if you don't have a business plan, I promise you, it's going to be very stressful. So write out a business plan, exactly what you want to do, how you want to do it. And when you come back if you want to do the same thing I do, I can recommend you to the most expensive places. I got a knack for spending money, boy. So, you can go do what I do. And then when you come back in 2 months and you're fully recharged, then you go and execute your business plan. Who do you want to help first? Who do you want to have a cat sanctuary? You want to, rescue all the stray cats. Beautiful. Do that. You want to do a project that restores the coral in the ocean, go hire some people and do that. You know what I mean? Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, very good.
Are you referring to a humanitarian project with your wealth?
Yes.
Yes.
Crypto?
Yes.
Well, not just crypto, but
you're not talking
maybe
about Zim. Are you talking about Zim?
Zim dollars. Yep.
XRP, Zim, VeChain,
Zim,
XLM, whatever. You got your money making you $1 million a month. You're not going to be able to spend $1 million a month. Do something with that money.
Yep. Yeah.
You do have Zim. I would recommend one entity, and that's at QFS. Let me look it up on my phone. He's got a structure. You can help your community.
Okay.
He's got a revenue sharing program. It's a wonderful, it's the best humanitarian platform anywhere, if you ask me. And it's just top dog.
Cool.
So I will look that up.
Very
It's
cool.
the Nesara Gesara is that I shared.
Right.
QF something.
Cool.
But anyway, that's what I would recommend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, Mary.
There's so many projects, humanitarian projects that you could do out there. You could, have a program to educate the homeless and feed the homeless. There's gonna be a whole new class of people that are rising up that are going to have such tremendous wealth. Okay. And it's going to be humanitarian because I think the people that are behind XRP, I think the people who are invested in XRP have their mind screwed on straight and they have their heart, exactly in the right place. So I think we're moving in a completely different mindset where things are not going to cost as much. A lot of things that you would probably pay for under normal circumstances would be free, like the med beds, I think at some point down the road, because when you put somebody inside a med bed who has no limbs, and in 2 hours later, they come out the other side and they got limbs, you're going to see money pour in like fire hoses. Okay. You're not going to need to charge people. The $19 a month is just to prime the pump because we're going to need offices, office equipment, clerical workers. These people are not going to work for free, obviously. So, but if you cannot afford the $19, no stress, no mess. Don't do it, because if you're sick, we're still going to get you a place in line. And because there are going to be so many philanthropists down the road that are going to throw so much money at it. There you go. What is it?
It's qfs2020.com.
Okay.
That's the website you gave me. That's exactly correct.
It is.
Yeah. And that website is so badass that we made it part of our quantum financial systems manual.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. When you go into our quantum financial systems link manual, and there's like 100 videos, one of the links is that exact, and that's my dog. And that's it. That exact, whatchamacallit.
But what you want to do, if you do have Zim, is send an email to Ron Giles, and there's an email on there, and tell him you want to be part of the humanitarian program. And don't listen to Charlie Ward and a lot of these other people. This guy, Ron Giles, is the guy. And they will do a background check on you and everything. But, you know, when it's time, you know, you'll get the call.
Cool. Thank you.
You bet. I've been.
All right. It's your turn, Mary. You got a question for Mel?
Mary, you have a question?
Okay, let me see. I did have a question. I don't right this second. If Tracy and all.
I got one.
Okay.
So Mel, I know you stay up on things. You're pretty sharp as far as like getting your data and information, you know, from other channels, other sites, other, you know, fellow truther people. Who are some of these other channel folks that you listen to or you would recommend for us?
Yeah, I like, you know, people don't like 107. I like 107. I like Scott McKay, except Scott McKay, his podcasts have gotten long-winded. As you know, I try to stay under an hour. If it goes an hour and 8 minutes or so, that's okay. But when you're talking an hour and 45-minute podcast, people say, wait a minute, you know, because people know I have no time. For example, if they send me a podcast that's got some nuggets in there, they'll say, hey, fast forward to this and then fast forward to that and give me right to the nuggets. I don't have time to listen. I get, you know, 1 million videos sent to me every week. If I had to sit here and watch every video that was sent to me, I don't have any time. There's not enough hours in the day, you know. But I like Nino Rodriguez because he's a straight shooter. He curses a lot. I used to curse a lot. I think I've tamed it down a little bit.
I think
my wife says, yeah. My wife says, invite more women to your podcast because when there's women present, you don't use the F curse a lot. My wife, listen, if you're going to take advice from anybody, Amber is the best person in the world to take advice from. She's amazing. But
do you ever listen to Cliff High?
I like Cliff High, but Cliff High doesn't think Nesara Gesara is going to happen. But today, you know, the guy that's connected to the president of the United States, who is still the president of the United States, 107, somebody asked him, is Gesara and Nesara going to, you know, happen? Yes. Okay. Yeah. So that's a guy that talks to the president of the United States, the guy who's in charge of the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, all of it.
Commander-in-chief.
Commander-in-chief. This guy couldn't be a commander-in-chief of a freaking Boy Scout, you know, with BB guns.
Now, Kirsten W. used to be really critical of 107, and I've listened to 107 many times, and I just haven't had time lately, but I've always thought he had very good wisdom and nuggets.
You know, 107 is very long-winded in his answers, but he makes sense. You know,
he does.
This cabal thing's been going on since the days of Kennedy. If you look at Kennedy's gravesite from 100-foot view and you look down, it's definitely in the 17th letter of the alphabet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, you know, is John Jr. alive? I don't know. Is Elvis Presley still alive? I don't know. Is Sammy Davis Jr. going to be at the party when they bring in back Trump? I don't know.
I didn't hear that.
What I do know is you're not going to fix this thing. That you know, they've given us The Price is Right, Let's Make a Deal, okay, Gilligan's Island, all these shows on television to keep everybody mesmerized. And American people love to be entertained. They love it. They don't like it, they love it. Okay. And so while we were so distracted with all the bullshit, and then came out a reality TV show, you know, Survivor Island and all that bullshit, right?
Yeah.
We were so focused on this crap that somebody was stealing all our money.
Well, we had a lot of confidence that government was doing the job that they're supposed to be doing. And
These guys are professional liars. These are
see
CIA
that now.
operatives.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody that works for news media, 90% of them are trained liars. And, you know, I've been awake for 30 years, if you want to include George Carlin. Then I got into, you know, Alex Jones. Now I'm into the 17th letter of the alphabet. I listen to SGT Report. I listen to X22. I listen to
I like X22.
I listen to LT from And We Know. I love him. Okay.
Yep.
Straight shooters. Even they got it wrong. They thought this thing was going to get wrapped up. No, man, this is 128,000 tentacle octopus on steroids. You shoot one tentacle and 10 more tentacles pop up.
Yep.
If there's anybody that could kill the octopus, that's Trump.
Yeah.
Who else is going to step up and do it? They knew that he could not be bought. They went to him. They said, you got to run. We're in a lot of trouble. You ain't got to be that smart to know that we're in a lot of trouble. I knew it. I've been beating the drum for 30 years. People have been calling me all kinds of wacky names. Oh, here's Mal. He's a whack job. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Did you hear that humans over in Europe shot down about 40 of Elon Musk's SpaceX satellites? And do you believe
it's
anything
funny
about
you
it?
say that. It's funny you say that. My friend Texas Ted, who started his own channel, he liked so I have a Trump election F. I can't say that word that starts with an F. Okay, you know what I'm talking about.
Sure, sure.
Room. Okay. It starts with an F. It ends with a D. Okay.
Yeah,
That
I know.
one?
I go there all the time.
So he started his own little Telegram channel. So he's been very busy doing that. But he calls me one day, goes, Mel, you're not going to believe this. 40 of the satellites out of the 49 came down. I said, okay. Yeah, but they're part of the quantum financial system. What's going to happen to my, 1,000, 2,000 XRP? Okay. The way I answer that is, well, the nodes, the ledger resides out there because it needs to be very cold, number one, and it is very cold out there. And it is the most advanced technology because it's connected to the quantum computers down in Reno, Nevada. But the way I answered him was very simple. I said, look, you don't launch 49 satellites and you don't have another 200 satellites or 300 satellites on standby in case something like this happens. So I'm sure by now, they're not going to advertise this, obviously, on CNN or on ABC.
No.
Always broadcasting crap, right?
Yeah.
It's probably already back to normal. Everything's already reprogrammed. We got some very smart people on this planet who want to see this species evolve. We're not going. They're poking at a bear.
Right.
Okay, they're poking at a bear, the bear meaning the United States of America. American people, you can say anything you want about them. Yes, we've been asleep at the wheel for a long time, but docile, not one thing we are. We're not too good at being docile.
We pack.
Yeah.
Can you have guns down?
I mean, and everything is on the table. I always say this, look, if you are a police officer and you're following orders to enforce the New World Order, because there's not even be an odor left when we're done with you. We know where you live. We know the number of your house. We know the street you live on. We know what kind of car you drive. If you think the white hats aren't looking at you, you're just not thinking straight. Because when this thing becomes a mop-up operation, you will be picked up. And if you are harassing little old ladies on the street walking their dogs, and I've seen plenty of videos for not wearing their face diaper,
Yeah.
you got hell to pay.
Did you see the cop that ran over the old lady with a walker on the horse up in Canada?
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw that.
Crazy.
Okay. You think these guys are going to get away with this? For every one of you, there's 1,000 of us. And we're watching everything. We're watching everything. You're not going to get away with it. Final question.
You want it, Mary? Okay. So yesterday, I guess it was yesterday, Mel, or the day before, one of the shows we were on, you mentioned in the context and in the title that 2030 might be the end of crypto. Where do you see crypto going, and what do you see taking over or replacing it? Just kind of a wild thought.
One word. Replicators. Some of you guys are going to think I'm a whack job, and that's okay. You could think whatever you want to think. Again, you don't live in my movie theater. You don't absorb any of the information I absorb, and my information is spot on because everything I've been talking about has come to pass. I've talked about the New World Order. They thought I was nuts. I said, never going to happen. It's here. I talked about medical beds. I said, never going to happen. It's here. And with a little bit of good luck, Cynthia and I will be the first ones to introduce it to the world. So when I get done doing that, and because I have my own selfish reasons, it's called my mom's got about 19 different elements, and if we don't get her healed, she's not going to be here much longer.
Yeah.
That's my motivation. That will motivate you.
Heck yeah.
And I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get it done. And all these doctors who are giving her all these drugs and went to school to waste their time and kill humanity, they could take what we're about to unleash to the world and put that in their pipe and smoke it, because we're coming. We're going to put you out of business. Okay. So replicators, basically, again, you tell somebody that, went to war, has no limbs, they got blown up, but they're still alive and they're all mangled because of a war that somebody needed to make another $1 billion, who's got $10 billion. Okay. And you put that guy or gal in that med bed and they come out the other side and they're healthy and they're vibrant and they're young and they got their limbs again and they're running and they're swimming and they're doing all the wonderful things that we should be enjoying in life. See, replicators, I talked about that with George Green because I'm an ask-hole. I ask a lot of questions. And when I didn't get the right answers, I started questioning everything. Yep. I'm a thorn in their side. I got their playbook. I know the next move they're going to make because I've lived this life for 30 years. So when I asked George 18 years ago, this is when Project Camelot was just getting off the ground. And I said, you met with Quetzal, who was the commander of the ship that was coming from the Pleiades with Billy Meyer, et cetera. What do these guys do? How do they live? What kind of foods do they eat? What's their lifespan? How long do they live? And then he told me, he didn't call it medical beds. He called it some kind of advanced healing technology. I forget the words he used. This has been a long time. And I said, do they have a monetary system? He said, Mel, no, because they're way beyond that. They've graduated from that a long time ago, thousands of years ago. He says, and we're going to be there. And he didn't call it replicators, but he called it this machine that could build you anything you want. That's his words, not mine.
Good too.
Which is a replicator. So when you
Wow.
got a replicator that can make you a pair of beautiful Italian leather shoes, and you got a replicator that can make you beautiful, gorgeous designer pocketbook and incredible clothes that are nanotechnology, where you don't need to take a shower for about 5-6 days because the nanoparticles that are in there are cleaning your body 24/7.
Right.
And you have a machine that can make you food that doesn't even exist on this planet, from recipes from other planets.
Wow.
Well,
it
and
can make your
also,
house anywhere you want. You can make your house
Yeah.
bigger or smaller. It makes you furniture, it makes you a television, it makes you whatever you want. Why do you need money?
true.
You got a machine that cooks for you in your kitchen. You say, okay, telepathically, you're going to say, I want a porterhouse steak and I want a 2.5 pound lobster. That would be my choice, by the way. Okay? And maybe a nice glass of red wine.
Yep.
Right? And then you're done. You take the dishes, you put them underneath the machine, and it disintegrates them back into the fabric of the earth. I know there's a lot of people out there saying, holy shit, Mel is really crazy, and that's okay. You're allowed to say that. But you know what? Just like I was right about the New World Order, and just like I was right about that thing that goes in your arm, that's why I'm here in Costa Rica, by the way, because my wife would have to be subject to 7 of those things and as many as 22. And because I'm anti that, we said Costa Rica. Okay.
Very cool.
That's why money's going to go away. How quickly are we going to get there? It all depends on how mature we get to where if we go to 4th density, 5th density, 6th density, 12th density quickly, it's going to be gone maybe even faster than that. So we're becoming wealthy at a point in our life where it's not so, we were sort of like, it was nice to be wealthy when you're like in the 70s and 80s and 60s, because you could enjoy your money for quite a long time. Now imagine having, $1 billion worth of XRP, and all of a sudden you got a machine that makes that obsolete. So
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, that's where it's going. Now, I know that that's true. I'm sure you know about replicators, and I'm sure Marty knows about replicators, but people that think that, we're never going to evolve and we're never going to travel amongst the stars and we're never going to go meet other civilizations and we're never going to seed life on other planets, you're in for a rude awakening.
Heck, there's already a company in South Carolina that is building those little individual jet propulsion flying cars.
Pods.
I mean,
Yeah.
they are in South Carolina now. I forget the name.
Well, we're going to have technology that's zero energy technology. It's going to be pulled from the fabric of the earth. Tesla was trying to do it. And JP Morgan said, where's the meter? How do we charge people for this? He goes, no, because there's no meter. We're just going to give this to the people for free. He said, the hell we are. Get this shit out of here. Okay.
Yeah.
And so they put everybody on the treadmill. We're on a hamster wheel for years and years, hundreds of years. We're about to get off the hamster wheel if all you guys want to wake up and stop using Colgate toothpaste and use, Himalayan toothpaste that you can get on Amazon. Not that Amazon needs my money. Or go to your local health food store and brush your teeth with some Himalayan that has no, glyphosate, fluoride, and all that BS that clogs up your memory.
Yeah.
That's where we're at, guys. Any more questions? Otherwise, we'll close it out and we'll do it again another time. I like this where you guys ask me questions.
Man, you had some great answers. Very good.
Yeah, it was fun.
Very good.
And I'm sure next time my internet will be better. I'll start
just
writing
call your
down some
company and tell them
questions.
to give you an extra 20 megs.
Oh, no, I got high-speed internet. It's line of sight, though, because I live out in the sticks. So I'm thinking the tower is all frosty because it's now.
That's about to change. That's about to change too.
Yes, I know that. I'm very excited about that.
We're about to get internet that's going to be 100 times faster than what we have.
Yeah.
In the middle of the ocean,
And-
in the middle of the Mojave Desert.
Yep.
Yep.
And secure, fast, and protected.
And cheap.
Protected. That's the
12
big thing.
degrees.
Yes.
12 degrees.
Wow.
Woo.
So
Yeah,
I'm
here
at
it's about-
3,000 and the tower's up at like 5,000. So they probably are minus. And this is not normal weather right during the end of February here.
We're having freezing rain today in Dallas.
Are you?
It's
Oh, okay.
crazy. Crazy.
Golly.
Makes you wonder about that heart thing.
Guys,
Well, I
let's
know.
do it again. I
Okay.
had fun doing this one with you guys. And
Yeah.
if you would like to be in our podcast, send me an email. I always post it inside the Telegram group. All right. Send me an email. If you're not camera shy, if you want to, make sure you comb your hair. Me, I don't have to worry about it, as I have no hair until I come out of a med bed, then I look like Fabio.
That's right.
Fun, guys. Definitely, we got to do it again. Thank you for coming out. Amadi, it was nice meeting you.
Yes, likewise, Mel, and nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
And thanks so
Nice
much.
meeting you.
Pleasure. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Mel.